Hey, welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest. We're here in the doggy bus again today, and I'm going to talk about something. Again, this isn't a fixing something video, so if that's not your thing, feel free to catch us on tomorrow and we'll have another Roadside Rescue episode. But a lot of mobile mechanics have been coming out of the work since I've started putting out my videos, and I just want to talk about in this video, one of the questions I've been getting quite frequently is how I find customers as a mobile mechanic. And this is like a multifaceted question. It really, now is completely different than when I started. So I'll talk about when I started my business, and that's obviously where most people are probably at, especially in the pandemic when people have been finding themselves self-employed. So when I first started, I went to my local AutoZone and I became friends with them. So I kind of established my business and made some business cards, got my tax information, everything I needed to start my business out here legit. And I went to AutoZone and handed them my business cards, and they started trusting me at AutoZone. They saw that I was a nice person, taking care of people, and they would start giving my cards to people who came in, because that's there's a lot of people who come in, they scan their computer, and then they, AutoZone can't tell you what's wrong with your vehicle. That's a liability to them. So they have all these codes, and they're like, well, what do you think it is? AutoZone can't tell them, but then they say, hey, well, here's this guy who can come look at your car for you. He can even do it in the parking lot right here, which I've done several times. But that's not probably the best way to get your customers. I in my experience, I get 1 or 2 max customers a week doing that. So you couldn't stay afloat doing that alone, but that's a good way to keep in people coming. And frequent, if you choose O'Reilly's, if you choose Advance, if you choose AutoZone, I like AutoZone personally, but choose one and stick there, because the more money you spend there, the better your discount gets, the better benefits you get on your commercial accounts, and the more familiar you become with people. So pick one of the locations that you like. Again, my favorite's AutoZone, but maybe you only have an O'Reilly's in your town. I've been to towns like that. So you go there and you just keep going there. You try and do all your business, buy a lot of your parts through them, and they warranty labor and parts and stuff like that with commercial accounts. So that's great. And the more you spend, the better your discount is, the more money you make just selling your parts to the customers as well. And so I would do that, get a couple of customers. I would talk to people. I'll often be on my way somewhere, and I keep a jump box in my car. And the most frequent thing I see is somebody on the side of the road with their hood popped, and they're just trying to start their car. So I pull over every time I see somebody, or I offer them help. I'd say 40% of the time they say, no, somebody's coming to help me, or I don't need your help. I'll give them a business card anyways. I said, hey, well, next time you find yourself stuck, your car won't start, think of me, and I'll try and help you out. And that 2-second interaction usually helps. A lot of times you get to jump people's car off, and you get to talk to them there for a minute and say, hey, this is the kind of business that I'm running, and you give them your business card as well. And I've got a lot of repeat customers that way. But again, maybe you get 1 or 2 a week. That's not enough, so you got to find customers another way. So the best thing for the amount of work and money you put into it is Facebook groups, like local Facebook pages. I live in Provo, Utah. Provo Online Yard Sale, Provo 24/7 Yard Sale, Utah County Yard Sale, Sell Your Stuff Utah. There's a bunch of groups that are open posting, and so I would make an ad for my business, a picture of me working on a car on the side of the road in my uniform, as nice as I can make it look, as official as I can make it look, and then I'd post it to those Facebook groups and say, hey, I'm doing a mobile mechanic business. If your car won't ever start, save my number. Make sure you tell something that catch people's attention. Save my number. You might not need it now, but take a screenshot. You'll need it in the future. Or, just trying to be nice, trying to show that you're friendly and taking care of people on those. You don't want to overwhelm those pages. People will get turned off by you. But, every now and then post things on there. You can run ads on Facebook as well, and Marketplace. Facebook's pretty good about not letting people advertise their own businesses on Marketplace. So they want you to pay for ad space. They want you to pay them to show, clients, customers they're following. That's how they make their money. Obviously, they don't want you take advantage of their platform, but for a while you can usually post ads on Facebook. They'll get through the algorithm on Marketplace, and legalities of it, or the ethics of it, I was always fine doing that as long as I wasn't overdoing it. Just posting on Marketplace, hey, mobile mechanic services, $60. We come to you and fix your car. Make it look legit. If it's a picture like this up close of a valve cover, I've seen lots of those, like this of a brake. You can't see who the person is. You can't see what kind of work they're doing. So make sure you're in the picture. Make sure your equipment's in the picture, that you look official, you're keeping things clean, and don't have something zoomed in like the top of a valve train with the valve cover off or something. It looks dirty, and it kind of translates into that, your sales pitch. So that's a good way to get people. I would get a lot of people doing that. Every time I posted an ad, I'd probably get 15 to 20 to 50, and on my best ad I ever did, I think I had 240 messages from one ad, which was a picture of me standing in the engine bay of a car, I think with the engine pulled out of it. when we did a motor swap one time. And so that may not be the case for you, but maybe, you know, that gets you a lot of people. And there's obviously sometimes I would turn some of those people away. So I'd say at least 50% of the people who contacted me from those, I was able to actually work on their vehicles. And then the best thing that helped my business long term was actually just investing in advertisement space. So I would pay for Google ads. The least you can pay is like $10 a day. So it gets pretty expensive. But the way I looked at it was if I could get one job a month from Google ads and it paid for itself. So if I got one job and it was an in-depth job and I made $300 on that one job, well, that ad paid for itself, you know. And typically I would get 1 to 2 calls a day from Google ads. And those were always, it's rarely, from somebody calling me from Google ads was rarely somebody I couldn't help, because Google's so specific. Google will show it to people you pick in a certain location, certain demographics. You can be very specific on Google. So I almost always got the job when somebody contacted me on Google from my Google ads. Again, it's expensive. You can pay for more ads, but it pops you right up on the top page, on the top search results when somebody searches mechanic near me, you know. And then you got your little pitch. You got like 100 and something characters to say, we come to you, we have lower overhead than a shop because we're mobile, so we'll save you money. Something like that, you know, qualified mechanic, saving you money, we're mobile, so we cost less, you know, don't pay to tow to a shop, we come to you, stuff like that, you know, catch somebody's attention. Hey, my car is broken down in my driveway, you know, they're looking, is this an alternator problem? You can type in keywords, you know, is my alternator, do I have a bad battery in alternator? And then you can pop up right there, mobile mechanics, we come to you and diagnose your car, whatever. But it can get expensive, but the way I looked at it, I always got 1 or 2 calls a day. That turned into 5 or 6 jobs a week, but one of those jobs, typically there would always be one job that was more than $300 profit. So the way I looked at it, as long as I could do one of those jobs a month, those ads were worth it. They were paying for themselves. And that's what really built my customer base over a long time. The whole first year I ran my business, I did ads like that. And when you start out, you know, the first month you're doing your business, maybe you have a job a day, maybe you don't. I've always been in school, so I've never ever worked full time. I've never worked a full 40-hour work week. Well, I probably have, but I've never scheduled my time that way for working on cars because I have to go to school. So I don't know what the upper limits of the potential of this business is. I really don't know. You could probably work and I've heard people say they work every day, 15 hours a day if they want to. And in my experience, I could have if I wanted to. I've been turning away so many people. I don't run ads or anything anymore. I've treated people really nice ever since I first did it. I'd say by the 6-month mark, half of my business was repeat customers, people who had out here in this college town old cars or their other car, they wanted an oil change. And I don't do oil changes now, but when I first started, I did oil changes as a standalone because I would do an oil change and then I'd do an inspection. I'd say, you know, hey, I'll do a free inspection. I'll look at your car while this oil is draining or whatever and let you know if there's anything that looks like it should be taken care of in the future, and, you know, drum up business for, you know, the next couple of weeks, or, you know, the next day, maybe, you know, you take some things with you that are common problems on vehicles and you offer it to them, you know, air filters and stuff like that. You just go to the auto parts store, you get everything for that vehicle when you're there, which is what I still do. And when you're there, you offer them the certain different products, a serpentine belt and everything like that. And you don't want to be dishonest about it. You don't want to make them feel like you're upselling them. And so you just say, hey, look, I have these things. You totally don't have to buy them. But just in case, you know, that you need them and you want them, I brought them with me. And be careful doing that, because sometimes I found I've lost a few customers by telling them that before I went out to do the job. I would say, hey, I'll bring some stuff with me, and if you need it, you know, we can sell it to you. And people are like, man, this guy's just trying to upsell me, you know. So don't say that until you're there, you know, and don't try and pressure. Don't make them feel pressured. And when you treat customers right like that, I'll tell you, every one customer I had by the end of my first year, on average, probably had referred me to 3 different people. 2 of those were probably successful jobs that I was able to carry out. And then I've kind of, you know, as business has gotten bigger and bigger, my area that I service has shrunk and shrunk and shrunk. And the people that I'm able to see, and nowadays, maybe because of YouTube as well, I get so many calls, there's no way I could attend everybody. You know, maybe the business expands, but for the time being, I'm not looking at expanding. So that's the thing. Don't expect it to boom at the very beginning, but treat people right. So many of my customers were referrals and repeat customers, so many of them. And then, you know, chalk it up, pay for ad space, and just tell yourself, you know, write it down, whatever works, makes sense for you. But my thing was, if I spent $350 a month on ads, as long as I made $350 from one of those, you know, 2 of those, 3 of those, as long as those ads paid for themselves, I was running my ads. I never stopped running them. And then, you know, keep your business drumming up. Every time I go to AutoZone to pick up parts, if there's somebody in the parking lot working on their car, I offer to help them. I pull up in my big truck, which is like a billboard now, and people are always like, hey, you know, can you work on motorcycles? No, I don't work on motorcycles, but, you know, if you ever have a problem with your car, give me a call. give them my business card. You know, you just offer somebody, hey, you're changing your headlights, you need help? Typically people, I'd say 4 out of 5 people, no, I've got it. And okay, well, if you ever have problems in the future, here's my business card. I'll come to you. You know, when you're at work or you're at school, you don't have to drop your car off and wait 2 weeks for it to get on the lift at the local shop, or, you know, sit around in the lobby of a shop for 2 hours while they replace your alternator. You know, you watch TV at your home, you take a bath, you do whatever you want in the comfort of your own home, and I'll come fix it in your driveway. And we'll be clean and, you know, professional. And, you know, you want to make people feel like they could trust you. The only downside of being mobile is, like, if you're shady, people feel like, okay, well, if this person does shoddy work on my vehicle, he could disappear. I don't know where he lives. He doesn't have a shop. There's no way I can track him down. So you want people to be able to trust you. And but in my experience, business has been great. Like I said, there could be so much more that I'm doing. I just right now, it's not feasible for me to do that. But when I started out, it was slower. But I always had, you know, on average, my first 6 months, 2 jobs a day, which I was making, you know, $200 to $400 a day on average. Doing 2 jobs. So a job usually averages minimum, you know, hardly ever make less than $100 on a job to call out, do a diagnosis, replace something. You know, the low end of anything I do, the lowest end is $60, and sometimes, you know, we're out there for 4 hours and it's a, you know, $500, $650 profit. I never do anything ridiculous. I always beat local shops' prices. I always be just under them, but you could be more if you wanted to charge for the convenience. Just depends on how you want to set up your business and run it. But hopefully that makes sense. If you have questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'll monitor the comments and I'll try and answer your questions. If there's so many questions, I may do another video on a topic similar to this. If you have other questions on the logistics of opening up your own mobile mechanic business or running it or anything like that, again, leave them in the comments and I'll address those in a different video if they need to be done. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode. Tomorrow is another episode of Roadside Rescue.